Very quickly, just a bit of background on me. I was raised on a dairy beef cattle operation on the north coast of New South Wales, Australia. So I have a fair bit of industry background in that particular space. I did a PhD in agronomy and was working at the University of New England, which I know I've met a lot of you guys through over the years in this sort of area, precision ag and then precision livestock. More recently came up to Rockhampton and I head up the precision livestock team up here. Worked on a range of different projects, and some of these I know some of you guys have been involved in, right back from looking at remote sensing for pasture biomass through to SBAS correction for livestock tracking. So a pretty varied background, but some interesting stuff there. Might jump to the next slide. So what am I interested in? What are we sort of doing? We're really, I guess, pushing this concept of developing on-animal sensors to improve the management of livestock operations. And so what that sort of means is having a smart tag, a little ear tag that detects location and say activity, transferring that data via some sort of platform back to a cloud server where it's processed, and then delivering that information back to producers. So at the moment, as a manager, I manage a small herd in here at the uni. I might go down and be able to check those cows once or once a day, every couple of days. But this sort of technology allows us to constantly monitor all our animals. So the two key sort of sensor platforms that we're interested in are usually GPS tracking and then accelerometer behaviour. And then you've got to take that raw data and turn it into something useful to actually make it relevant. Next slide. So some simple applications are things like stock theft detection. So you can detect when an animal is racing across a paddock, being chased by somebody trying to steal it, or being breaching outside the paddock. In the case of this demonstrator example, we work with some producers in WA. Next one. All the way through to some more complex sort of applications. In this case, we're mapping the landscape utilisation by grazing livestock, areas that they were using, areas that they weren't using, and then looking at how do we manage that, where can we put a water trough to encourage utilisation of underutilised areas. So some very simple applications and then some more complex applications as well. Can we jump to the next one? And so we've done some research looking at the economics of this. How do you actually make money out of it? And roughly across a whole heap of different applications, we're getting around that 5 to 7% increase in revenue plus cost savings. And so there's a report on that I can share if you're interested. We'll jump to the next one. In terms of the industry being involved, there's a whole bunch of companies out there working to develop the actual bits of hardware to make it happen. And so that's really exciting because that's been in development and it's a key challenge for us in this particular space. And in terms of, we'll jump to the next one. In terms of the future and where it could sort of go, it's this data integration. So we've got these on-animal sensors collecting data from what the animal's doing. If we can integrate that in with a remote sensing in terms of the feed base, we think there's some big wins in that. And I was fortunate to do a little bit of research last year over in Ohio, where we started proving that sort of concept, and we're hoping to expand that now in Australia. But really, there's a whole range of applications of these sort of on-animal sensors in the livestock industry to improve that production efficiency, sustainability, welfare, and even into the national livestock identification system type of approaches. Last slide, I think. And one of the other little things we do, just to leave it on a high note, we're working with schools, and we put our GPS cows program into high schools to sort of engage that next generation of students to get involved in that, and that's quite a powerful program as well. That's me.
Thank you very much, Mark. Again, super impressed by timing, but also terrific to see what's happening in the livestock space there and what might be possible down the road.